All right, welcome to Here for the Horses. Glad you are here for the horses. This week we're going to be going over a little bit of last week's homework. We're going to be talking about one thing changing one thing can make all the difference, and I have multiple examples of that. And then we will be talking about homework for this week. Okay, so I just showed everybody a quick video of me putting Chester on balance pads. So I'm going to be playing with those for a while. I think that I'm going to see how beneficial they are, right? So the thing with stuff like that is it always kind of comes in fads, right? So is this fad going to stick around? I don't know. How beneficial is it? How much do you have to use them? How consistent can you be? So I do not see myself being really good at doing that. Although, what's nice is with Georgia, I could literally just put her on them and leave her, and then come, like I could clean stalls and I could come back and she'd still be on them. But with Chester, you saw, he was not familiar with them. That's the first time he's been on them. But I would have to get him used to doing that. So I'll let you guys know if I see any differences in stability, in hind end muscle, in relaxation, balance, anything like that. I would really like it to help. Georgia's pretty solid in most of those things, but if that could help Chester, that'd be pretty exciting. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. Let's see. So I want to talk about this last week's homework. I have a couple honorable mentions here. Um, If you guys want to watch one, I called it by the book for this week. We did the hyoid and the jaw release. Um, Kathleen and Mercedes was pretty much by the book. Okay, by the book, so that was good. Oh, I wanted to show you guys Cheryl and Angel. Who had a chance to watch that? Because that was fascinating. Is Cheryl here? Let me see. Let me look around here. Super fascinating. And I couldn't tell at first, but I wanted to show you guys that video. So let's take a look at that. Let me pull it up first before I can. Um, what I saw in this, and I didn't know if I was correct at first, was I gotta figure out how to spell. Here we go. Um, I couldn't tell what this horse was doing. Here it is. This was really cool. So I'm going to play this video for a little bit and I'm going to try not to talk. I don't know which one of me I'm going to mute, but we'll figure it out. Okay. Here we go. So this is Cheryl and a horse named Angel. Legend was out in Roman streets. Oh yeah. Fighting at the bar. So it was cool because she said, whoops, no, she said, I want that to play and I want that to be quiet. She said that Legend was out acting crazy. And so she had to work with this horse instead because she came right up to her and she wanted the work. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I want you to get to the part where this horse has to release. So Cheryl does a great job giving her breaks. So the work doesn't seem to be all that crazy, okay? So she's having just kind of normal stuff going on. But I started to notice some things. Okay, there's a release, right? So the work was real mild. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, I want you to watch. This is so mild, you probably wouldn't catch it. So I think that was the first time I made a comment about it. She's just doing some work on the highway here. Gives her a nice break. We talk about that. Ooh, that's a nice lateral flexion. There it is again. Okay, watch. There, she just did it again. Okay, anybody catching it yet? Hold on, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. So she's doing more work here. Doing more work. Gives her a break. Out. Okay, she's doing more work. The break's over. Stepping away so she has some space. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more example. I think there's a good one on this side. Oh yeah. Okay, working on the jaw. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit till she gets her break. Look at this. This is when I was like, oh, okay, I get it. For sure. Okay. So tell me, I'm gonna stop that share now. Tell me what you noticed. Mm-hmm. Kept head down. So I couldn't figure out what she was doing because it was like she was, yeah, moving into her, okay, putting her head down. She was like positioning herself, okay? So I talk, yes. Yeah, who said that? Sylvie. Yes. Yes. Okay. So she kept using Cheryl to help her release. Okay. I couldn't figure it out at first, but she kept moving into her. Okay. And yeah, putting her head down, and she would put her head down at Cheryl's knees. Now, I don't know what the significance of that is, but do you guys remember that breath work class that some of you came to where I did breath work with Priya and we had the horses with us? And Chester, about halfway through, went behind me and put his head down at the back of my knees. Now, I don't know what that is, but he stayed back there the rest of the time. Okay. Yeah, kept reaching for Cheryl. So there was something going on where Angel needed Cheryl's help to release. Like she would come over, put her head down, and like touch her and release right next to her. Okay. Cheryl kept moving back and getting out of the way. Yeah, confidence thing. It's something. Yeah. She kept moving back and getting out of the way. It was really interesting. So if you guys are on the coaching community page, I highly recommend watching that whole video. And now that you kind of know the cliff notes, you can really see it before, because I was kind of like, what she's doing something. I don't know what she's doing. Okay. But what my final idea was that she needed help to release. And so she would just come into Cheryl's space and then, for some reason, around her knees, I'm not sure why that is. And then she would release in her space. And Cheryl was doing a great job kind of getting out of her space and giving her an opportunity to release on their own. So generally, I don't let them do that. I want them to release on their own. So I'll tell them to back up and like, you're going to release on your own because I don't want horses to be dependent on me to release. I want them to be able to do it on their own. So yeah, probably a confidence thing or like a odd sensation. They get a little uncomfortable sort of thing. But I was really glad that she did that because that's what Angel needed. And what we want is relaxation and release, don't we? So if that's what helps that, that's fine. So what's another thing that horses do um, that is something that helps them release? And we've talked about this before. What's another thing they do right before they release? That is the release, rubbing on their leg. Yeah. Yeah, rubbing, walking around. Yes. Fidget before the release. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, at least the rubbing their nose on something is the release. Yep. That's the release. So, walking around is one, and I consider that a fidget. So fidget before they release. So check out the fidgets before the release, and they can come in all forms. So I would almost call, this is not a fidget, but who's the cool one um this time round with Journey Through the Horse? We got a loud talker, but she talks with her feet. It's real cute. Busy. If you've seen a horse yet, if you've watched any of Busy's videos, she talks with her little feet. She like moves them around. It's really cute. And she always moves them sideways, which I think is really interesting. So a lot of times horses move forward and backwards. Busy moves like sideways and she talks with her feet. It's really cute. So if you haven't watched any of her videos, Susie and Busy, check those out because they're really cool. Okay. So fidget before release. And what's one more thing that they do sometimes that helps them release? Wanda has one that does it. A lot of times they get in trouble for it. Yep. Head toss. That's tension. So they chew on lead ropes.
Chew on the rope.
Yeah. Pawing. You're right, Helen. Yep. Yep, pawing. That's a fidget before release. So chewing on lead ropes is also a fidget before a release. And sometimes it's incredibly helpful if they can chew on a lead rope. And so those of you that have those nice natural horsemanship, they were expensive when I bought them, which was 20 years ago. I don't know what the price is now, probably $100 or something. But don't let them chew on those. Get the old crappy ones out that kind of came with whatever property you own. They've been around longer than most grandparents. Put those lead ropes on your horse and let them chew on that. Yeah. Yeah, most people take lead ropes out of their mouth because it's not a great habit, but if they chew on a lead rope and it helps them release, bring out an old crappy lead rope. Yeah, because they need help. And whatever we can do to help them release. And then once they start being able to release tension out of their body, they get better and better and better at it. And then they won't need that. So a lot of times you see the fidgetiness kind of diminishes. Chester's made a huge turnaround. Huge. Okay. So he's doing a lot better. He doesn't do half the weird stuff he did when I got him. Okay. So that was a really that was a really fun video to watch. So feel free if you're on the coaching community, um, watch Cheryl and Angel. She was that little redhead. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about the coaching community, once you have my clinic, you get onto a coaching page that's private. And this is where we do Journey Through the Horse. So I'll put the link for that right in the chat there if you need it. But yeah, you get into the coaching community, which you have access to me. You can submit videos, which is kind of what we're watching now. And then you get homework, which you can do just by watching also, but it's a lot better when you have the clinic. And you do have lifetime access to the clinic, so it's a good deal. Let's see. And then I wanted to show you also, let's see, is Jen in the house? Jennifer? Oh, let's see. I was going to show you little Huck because I'm pretty proud of and listen, I might be making it up. I might have just been excited, but I want to show you the before and afters of this and it is in a different place. Okay. So but Jennifer Nelson has been working on this little pony, and he reminds me a little bit of Mac, Jenny's pony, just because, I mean, they're ponies, but they get that face. Do you know what I mean? And that face can be, it just looks a little bit on the unhappy side. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to show you some photos. I took some still shots. Now, again, one of them is in a barn, it's darker, and then the other one is outside in the beautiful snowy background. So let's take that into account. But I want you to look at the difference in his face and see if you notice anything. I noticed one particular thing. Jenny. Adorable, you mean, Jenny. Okay, so let's check this out. I just took a bunch of still shots, okay? So this is kind of blurry, sorry. But this is little Huck, okay? He's obviously a senior pony. Okay, so let's look at a couple of these photos. He's got some chrome. Okay. These are just random. I just scrolled through the thing. He was kind of okay, so here's the next set of photos. So she did work here and then gave time and then she did her homework here. So let's look at these other photos now. Oops, okay. So does anyone notice a difference? Let's look, we'll just go through them quick here. And I remember a very specific photo in our pat, like this one here. Sorry, guys, but okay, now look. Okay. Anyone notice anything different?
Mm-mm.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Beth. Yes, I'm not the only one. I have not made it up. His eyes are bigger and brighter. Now again, I'm trying to, play devil's advocate. He is outside, the lighting's better, blah. His eyes look double the size as they did in the first one. Okay. So I love taking photos of horses before and after because you have no idea what's going to look different. Now, listen, I saw Mac's face in that first video and I said, oh, his face is going to look different. So it was kind of on my mind. Some horses for sure, Kristen's mare Candy, the first time I saw her, I was like, oh, okay, great. We're going to see some changes in her. Okay. So, yeah, his face looked so much happier in the second one, and it was because his eyes were bigger and brighter. Okay. And I remember it was probably 2 years ago now, Nancy sent me a photo of Bunny after massage, and her eyes were black and sparkly. They were so big and sparkly. And I went back and I did the same thing. I looked through all the videos and I took screenshots of her of Bunny's face before that. And Bunny's eyes were so much bigger after body work. Okay. So what's really cool is face tension um can really make their face look different. And if you have a horse that the eyes are kind of bugging out or they look really sharp or they look really dull, a great thing to do is to do before and after photos because it will blow your mind. It'll blow your mind how much the eyes will change. Okay? So definitely do that. That was fun. So I wanted to show you guys that and feel free to go through your own um your own videos and take some screenshots and stuff. Okay? So what we're going to talk, or does anyone have any questions so far? Because what I'm going to talk about today is when you change one thing, it can make all the difference. And I saw that in three different videos this week. This week. Actually, one was last week. Okay. One was last week. So most of you saw the photo that I had put up on the coaching page. So I would like to share that with on my public page, but sometimes I just don't trust the public to be smart. So I did not put it up because I don't want to deal with anyone saying something dumb. But let me find that photo. Hold on. And we'll take a look at it again. Everybody pretty much knocked it out of the park. Okay, here it is. Okay, so let's talk about this. And I like to be real clear about all the changes. Okay, so there's more than one factor here. Okay, there's more than one factor. Okay. Can everyone see this? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see it? If I can see you. Okay. So this is Paige and Havana. Okay. And I did the exact same thing. So when I pull up a video, I pause the video and I click screenshot, click screenshot, click screenshot, click screenshot. That's how I get these. Okay. So the top photos are from the first video that Paige submitted to me. And obviously, I think that Paige probably rode her before that. So that's one factor. And I always like to be real clear about all the factors. Okay. So let's not try to, we want to make sure that we know exactly what made the difference. Okay. So it looks like Paige rode her before on the top because she's a little sweaty. Okay. So on the top one, there she is. And then on the bottom one, there she is. So what changed? Okay. One of the things that changed is that she didn't look like she was ridden on the bottom one. Okay. That's one thing. I don't think that was it. Okay. So what changed from the top to the bottom that now you have a horse that looks like a different horse? Okay. It's pretty obvious, right? So in the top one, she's in the barn. In the bottom one, she's in the field. Okay. The top one, she's like, where are my friends? Where are my friends? Where are my friends? Okay. She's not misbehaving. She's not acting out, but look at where her head is the entire time. I did not click through any photos, any pauses in that video where the head was below that. I didn't click any. Okay. Look at the bottom. That looks awesome. Okay. So one change, and that's the result. One change. So obviously the change is do her in the paddock. Okay. Do her in the paddock. So my suggestion when I saw that top video was, she just kept going like this. In the first video I ever saw of her, I go, "Oh, she's going external." That's what I thought she was doing. I was like, "Oh, she's doing that Chester thing, like what's that over there?" because she had nerves. But I think she's like, who's out there? I want to be out there because she just kept repeating it. It wasn't like a distraction technique. Okay. So if you have a horse that just doesn't seem to relax, I want you to find the most relaxing area. Normally it's wherever they choose to spend their time. So if I were to put Georgia, I mean, Georgia doesn't really have an area. I'm going to be honest with you. I could do body work on her anywhere and she's going to act the same. Chester, I'll compare it to working with his feet because he has anxiety over his feet. He is far better in the paddock outside in the gravel than he is where I always massage Georgia. And you guys have seen videos of that. Okay. So changing one thing made the biggest difference for Paige and Havana. So Paige, do you have anything to add to that? What else do you think there is to that?
No, nothing. I have nothing to add. I was very pleased with the result. Thank you.
Yeah, that she put up a really cute video too. That was follow-up. That was so sweet. It was a completely different interaction that she was able to have with that horse because she took her outside. Now, when it's pouring down rain, sorry, Havana, it's
Gracie,
not,
come on,
you know what I
Gracie.
mean? So it's really important to do that whenever you can, right? Sometimes you're going to have to do them in the barn. That's fine. But just recognize that you're probably not going to have the results that you do outside. And I mean, we can all compare this to riding, right? How many horses ride better in an outdoor arena than they do in an indoor? Mine does. Okay. So, that's one thing you can change is the location. If you don't think the horse is comfortable where they're at, go somewhere else. Okay. Beth said Keegan relaxed better on week 2 when we worked in the indoor arena for the first week we worked. Yes, I agree. Also, yes, find the area that's the most I like arenas actually to work in. I just this last week worked at a barn and I don't know what it is, but that upper barn where everybody likes to tack their horses and do all their work, there's something weird about it because the horses do not relax up there and I hate doing body work up there. But they'll bring the horses up to there and I go, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just going to do them in their paddock, and I have to drive back in like the back 20 acres to get to their in my sports car, which is funny, on a gravel road. I don't care. But they don't like that upper barn. And I don't want to massage them in an area they don't like, you know, and especially like random stalls, if it's not their stall, yeah, it'll make them weird. So that was a huge turnaround. I want to show you another video here. Let me pull it up. Mm-mm-mm. This is this is fun. I did this side by side, so this is good. All right, here it is. Hold on. One thing is changed here, so I'm going to let you think about it and tell me what it is. Hold on. And they're side by side, so um, you can tell me which one because you're going to watch them both at the same time. Oh, here we go. Hold on. I don't know if, oh yeah. Can you guys see that? Thumbs up? No? Okay. Oh yeah, okay. Here we go. Okay. So this is Asya and Ursa. Okay. And the way I titled this was Ursa mad. Ursa happy. Okay. So can anyone tell me what they noticed the difference was? Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, interesting, Wanda. So what I told Asya to change from video 1 to video 2 was don't do it so soft. This stuff, annoying, annoying. And then when she tapped her like this. Okay. And I don't think that Ursa's a thoroughbred, but that's a very thoroughbred thing to do. Okay. That's a thoroughbred thing to do. So this that she was doing real soft was making Ursa mad. Okay. So I said, I want you to do it again, but I want you to do it a lot harder. A lot harder. Okay. And I know there were one of you that I told you, I need you to do it a lot softer. Okay. So I'm not saying always do it harder, always do it softer. I'm like, you have to figure it out. You have to find out if they need it harder or softer. Okay. And I talk about that fairly frequently because that's a quick thing to change, right? You can change that right away. What's the other thing I always say to change immediately? immediately. And one of you already, Beth already talked about it. But what's another thing? Somebody else talked about it too. So location. Yep. So a lot of times, if they don't like something hard, do it soft. If they don't like it soft, do it hard. If they don't like effleurage, do pounding. Okay. Change your stroke. Those are the two that normally fix the problem. Those are the two that normally fix it. Okay. Um, there's a lot of things you have to think about though. Okay. But changing one thing. So try to do it at one thing at a time. So Paige changed locations. Awesome. Her technique and intensity were fine. Uh, Asya changed intensity. That did it. Did you see Ursa's face in the second one? She was like, oh, that was a relaxed mare. In the first one, her nostrils were like dragon nostrils. She was like, keep it up, lady. I'm going to toss you into the chandelier in here. Okay. So change your intensity. Another thing is change your stroke. Change your stroke. And what I've always said, what I personally do is I go from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. So I don't like change it kind of down. You know, you're taught them in order, okay? Like the softest is you can do work from a distance, and then the next one is effleurage, which is slow, soft. That would send Ursa into outer space, I bet you. I bet she would hate that. Okay. The next one is going to be like linear friction. Okay. The one after that's going to be cross fiber friction. So linear friction goes with the muscle and breaks the muscle up this way. So if the muscle bundles are tight, you're going to do linear friction. It breaks it up this way, like that. Okay. Cross fiber is more aggressive. It breaks it up like that. Okay. Like this. Okay. Pounding is going to be next, or any sort of percussion, pounding, slapping, tapping, cupping, da 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 da. All right. So I don't go down the line. I go from, well, they hate this, so try this opposite. And then, well, that's not quite it. Kind of go back this way. And then eventually you'll find what they want. Okay. Does that make sense? Wanda said she liked her on the one side than the other. That's interesting. That would be another one that I would, I mean, that's back to location. That'd be another one that I would pay attention to. Okay. Okay, cool. And then another thing that we talk about is what's a couple other ones? You guys can write them in the chat. What are a couple other things that you can change? One change, just one change. What are a couple other things? I have one more video to show, so it's a little more complicated. Breathing is a great one. That's a great one. That's actually a great yeah, Leanne. That's a great test. So try um breathing. I also said breathe on them, say their name. Okay. It kind of brings them back to attention. Time of day is really interesting. That would be one you could play with. Like feed time is a horrible time to massage a horse. It's not a good time. Okay. So that little video that I put out with it was a bay horse on the hyoid, and she was telling me that she wanted it underneath. Okay. And then she switched sides on me and she wanted it on the jaw in the foggy. It was a foggy background. I was working with her and all the horses were really calm and I was working with her out in the paddock and then, come around the corner with a wheelbarrow and all of a sudden, the horse I was working on was like, "Brah, it's feed time." And because she's kind of young and she's also a little young brained. I just stood back until the feed got passed out and I was like, okay, I'm massaging her while she eats now. And so my massage went a lot faster because she's giving no indication to me now. The communication got shut down because she's eating. Okay. So I do not like to massage horses when they eat unless they're kind of a problem horse with a lot of anxiety issues, and eating calms them down. Then I'll do it, but you're not going to get the feedback from them. Okay. So there's pluses and minuses. It didn't really bother me because I know how to work on that horse and I had got the neck and face done that I wanted to get done to check on, and the rest was just kind of go through the motions. But if I need to know what they think about a particular situation, I do not want food around. Okay. Especially if they're really food driven. And some horses are, some are not. Some you can have grain in the thing and they prefer a massage over grain. So you just have to know what horse you are, what you're working on. Okay. So the next thing I want to show you, and this was great. Let's see. Oh, is Gail here? Gail. So Gail and her horse, he has a little anxiety thing. Okay. So what I wanted to show you, let me pull it up. I'll put Ursa and Asia's video up in the coaching community because it's really cool to watch and it'll play better when it's not on Zoom. Okay, but let me find Roger. No, Gail. Is it Gail and Roger? Coaching community. Oh, I'll just bring you guys along with me so you can watch. Okay. Um, oh, and you know what? I'm gonna keep this the ugly yawn post up. Anytime you guys get a yawn, throw it up on this post in the comments, okay? Deborah sent us some kangaroos. That's so awesome. So yeah, keep that ugly post up. I want to see some more wins of the week because you guys did really good on those. Sylvie knocked it out of the park this week right here. You guys are going to want to watch this video. It was so cool. Sylvie, you've made huge improvements in the last year. Pretty unbelievable. You're really knocking it out of the park. Um, oh, it's not here. Hold on. It's in here. Yeah. Okay. So, the first video where Gail was working with Roger, he would do something really interesting. Actually, I'm going to show you the first video. And I don't know if you guys saw this video, but he would do this like grinding anxiety thing. Okay, here, is this it? I think he does it in both. Let's watch this one real quick. See if he does it. Yeah, this. Okay, look. Do you see that? That motion right there is not a healthy motion. So there's a release. This right here. That's not a healthy state of mind. That grinding he does with his mouth. And he releases a little bit after it. That right there. That's tension. And as you continue to watch this video, that doesn't get better. It actually had a tendency to get a little bit worse. And those of you guys who have seen Nancy Ackerman work on her horse, Sam, he does the same thing. So this is not a relaxed face, right? He's licking and chewing, but look at his eyes and look at his ears. Okay, so let's look at one more because he did it again, this one here. Okay, we have Gail and this. There you go. I wouldn't, we always want to give breaks, but he's in his own head too much. So I would just work him and then step back. So he needs to, we need to get that tension out of his head. So I would just do a bunch of work on him. Just start rubbing.
See,
So
look,
I would probably stop that behavior because that's not a healthy behavior. What he's doing right there. That's tension creating. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Just start moving him through some of the moves because he's dragging it out and he's not getting any benefit from this. It's probably become a little ritual for him. That that habit can actually Okay. So, yeah. Did you see that? So, what I was noticing with him is that she would start to walk up to him, and he would go, okay. So that's not a healthy state of mind. And I don't like that behavior because that builds on itself and it creates tension. That movement creates tension. Okay. So my advice to her, and the thing is, he would do that movement and then he would lick and chew and then she would stop and back off. So I noticed by this the second video that he was actually worse at doing that than in the first video. So I go, okay, we have to shut that down because now he's using that as some weird comforting thing. And he knows that it stops her from doing work in an area that he has tension. So we've talked about that a little bit. And that's such a tricky situation. It's really hard to see it. So those of you guys who are new to this, like, don't feel overwhelmed, please. This is kind of advanced stuff, but I know a lot of you are there, right? And I want you to believe yourselves. Okay. So when you look at a horse and you go, I don't know, that doesn't look relaxing to me. I want you to go, that's not relaxing. Okay. Because I don't know about you guys, but that didn't look relaxing to me. Okay. So I want you to trust yourselves. Okay. And then anytime you come across something weird you don't know, yeah, you're all right, Jane. You're all right. Anytime you come across something weird and you don't know what's going on, send me a video because I love weird stuff. Okay. So, yeah, that was not a healthy action that he was doing. And the thing that made me know, the thing that said we need to change it is because it was getting worse. Okay. If it was diminishing, I'd be like, cool, keep doing what you're doing. But it was actually getting worse by the second video because she was giving him breaks. So one more thing that you can change is we talk a lot about horses need breaks. You got to give them breaks. Okay. And when you give them breaks, generally it helps, but sometimes it's not what they need. So I told her, I just want you to keep pushing him through. Like kind of stop that behavior a little bit and keep pushing him through. So check this out. This was a cool turnaround. I get a little excited sometimes when I'm watching these videos. And so if you guys hear me screaming, just know I'm fine. I just get really excited. That's all. And I just watched this one and then I realized that uh my volume wasn't on, so I gotta watch it again. I'll probably be scream less, but oops. Okay, so here's the second one. I just clicked off that, sorry. My fingers move faster than they should sometimes. Okay. So here's the follow-up, pushing through his weird tension releasing thing he does as you suggested. So watch the difference in these. So that's a release. I'll take it. There's that. Ignore it. She went right to a jaw release, which I love. Look how zen she is. I love that about her. She's relaxed. She's just going with it, no problem. Look, he's working through it. She's hanging out. Do you guys see how she has? Oh, I got to talk about two things. We'll keep watching this and I'm going to talk about two things. So with this jaw release, I know that I said I don't mind if you use your thumb on the bottom and flip your hand this way, like some of you were doing, instead of this way. But I've decided I do mind because it's not as good. So I want your hand and I want you standing, um, like in the position that she's in. I want you standing by the side of your horse. And then your inside hand is going to be on the halter, and your outside hand is going to be using your index finger on the bottom and your thumb on the top. Okay? And I just say that because one, if she was using her thumb like that and he throws his head up like that, you're not going to be able to do that. With your index finger, you can. Okay? And then you can if you're on the roof of his mouth. And I do want you on the side like she is. Okay. So try that again this week if that's not how you are doing it. So do you guys see the huge difference? Let me show you the other video real quick, just because it's more about the face that she was doing. This is good though. This is a big improvement. Okay, there it is. Keep going. Isn't that cool? That's one thing she changed. No breaks. No breaks, sweetheart. So most of the time I'm preaching to everybody to give a break, aren't I? Give a break, give a break, give a break. Not him. Keep going. Okay? Keep going. So, again, like I said, this is more advanced stuff. This is why Journey Through the Horse is so important, isn't it? Because we got different horses, you guys. We've got different horses. And if you try the same old, these like clinics and all this stuff are, video clinics like my online video clinic is great for a foundation. It's great to learn the techniques and learn the different moves, but real life application, you might need a little bit of feedback every once in a while, right? So Journey Through the Horse is where it's at. Okay. This is pretty awesome. The changes you guys are making with the slightest tips, tiniest tips. Okay. You guys are doing great. So let's talk about homework this week. I'm very excited. Feel free to continue working on the face, jaw, hyoid, jaw release, ears, pull, whatever you need to do. You guys knocked it out of the park. This week we're doing the neck. And for those of you that have had my clinic for a long time, I've changed some stuff. I moved the order around. Okay. I moved the order around. So let me pull up the this week's homework. Here it is. Okay, we're doing the neck assessment. Neck jiggle. Neck rub. Okay? Neck assessment, neck jiggle, neck rub. The assessment is I want you to look at the neck. What does it look like? Take pictures this week. I like those pictures you guys took of the forehead. Let's take some pictures this week. Okay? And we're going to need them for the end of next week too. So the neck assessment. Neck jiggle is where you just start at the top and you're going to jiggle all the way down. And what you're looking, these are kind of assessments. What you're looking for is where is it tight? Okay, so the neck assessment, you're looking at it and kind of feeling the whole thing. Where does it feel tight? Where does it feel tight? The neck jiggle, you're starting on the top line and you're just jiggling down the neck. Now, this is what you're normally going to find. It's either going to be tight at the pole and the wither, or it's going to be tight at the crest. It's normally one or the other. Okay. So jiggle, 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 all back and forth, all the way down. Super easy, super easy. But it's going to tell you some stuff about that neck. And then later, next week, we're going to continue on with the neck work, and then we're going to go back and do it again. And we're going to see how much better it is. Okay. And then you're going to do the neck rub. That's the whole rub. That's the whole rub. You're going to rub the whole neck. And I just did a super cool video. Oh yeah, it was on a big bay mare. That's on my public page, Winning Your Horse's Heart. So you can check that one out. I pointed out a muscle that was sticking out in her upper neck, and I showed how to loosen that up. So neck rub, rub it. Find out where all the tight spots are. Okay. And you should definitely be able to do all of those in one video because they're really easy. Okay. So one video. And then next week we're going to do the crest work. So we're going to do the crest pull, the crest ring, and the crest roll. And maybe, oh, and there's an extra neck thing too. So we'll do that. But neck's going to be fun, and I want you guys to use some of the different tools, okay? So when you're doing the neck rub, I want you to practice some of the massage strokes. So start soft. If they don't like it, pound. We're going to pound. If they don't like that, cross fiber friction. If they don't like that, we're going to do some traction. You'll see some of that where you just press and hold, press and hold, press and hold. You can do that all the way up and down the neck. Okay. So give that a try. Neck work's going to be amazing. Yeah, Jane, the videos are in my clinic. So that's what we talked about that a little bit earlier. I'll put it in here again. So all the homework is based on the clinic, and that actually gets you into Journey Through the Horse also. So it's a one thing deal. Okay. I'll put it right here. And that gets you into the private coaching group also. So yeah, you're welcome. Okay. So those are your three homeworks. Take before and after. Yes, great. Always both sides. The only one you don't necessarily have to do, and I didn't say this, was on both sides is the hyoid rub. But to be honest with you, you should, because you'll find you do things a little bit different on both sides. So everything is always on both sides. That's and actually another great point to that is that Deborah, are you in Australia? What time is it where you're at? Oh my gosh, we got a trooper here. She's up past her bedtime, or maybe it's time to get up or something. I don't know. She's the one that's got shorts and a t. Oh, okay, you're fine. That's fine. Shorts and a t-shirt on. It's like gorgeous where she's at. We're like bundled up in the rain, 30 below for some of you. I don't know. I just moved. That was the case. Anyway, sorry. So, when you're on one side and you do this one, the neck jiggle, and you go to the other side, you might notice that that skin doesn't want to come your direction on the other side. And you're going to notice that more when we do the crest pull and crest ring and all that. So absolutely both sides and pay attention to that. It's really cool. And also, any neck work you do, you might have one side of the neck that's tighter than the other, or you might find that different parts of the neck are tight on one side and not the other. You're definitely going to probably find that. So take pictures of both sides of the neck. Okay? Any questions? Paige will be out there in the rain, in the paddock, just drenched. Come on, Havana, release. Uh, oh yeah. Long manes and tails. So I normally always talk about Frisians, Andalusians, and Arabians with those big long tails, but I always forget about the old halflingers. Okay. If your horse has a huge mane or tail, well, mane we're going to be talking about. Um, flip it. Flip it over. Now, this is going to come more into play when we do the crest work next week. But I have the craziest video of Valentino, Frisian Stallion. I flipped his mane over to the other side and pulled it, and he yawned for about 5 minutes straight. So always flip their mane around, and you can really release a lot of tension. And also, if you have a horse that the mane falls to one side, it pulls that skin to that side. So when you flip it over, it's a crazy sensation for them, and then you can kind of wiggle it loose. And some horses really, really love that. They love it. Okay. So definitely flip the hair over. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay, awesome. You guys are set free. Thanks for joining. Talk to you next week. If you have any questions, definitely message me. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.